Good afternoon, everyone. I think I need to work on my background, given that everyone's got really aesthetically pleasing color palettes and I've got motivational brown. So yeah, just really embrace it. We will wait 30 seconds. You can see people coming in. And then we will kick off our speed dating. Did you think of another joke, Jessie? No. I got a really bad one. Just 2 peanuts were walking down the street and one was assaulted.
How about there's this polar bear, right? And he walks into the pub. Big line there. So he's waiting, he's just looking, well, what do I get? What do I get? So he gets up to the bar. Bartender goes, "Wallaby, tell me, what are you having?" And polar goes, "I think I'll have a Bundy and a Coke." The bartender goes, "What's with the long pause, mate?" And he goes, "Oh no, I've had them my whole life."
I thought that was good. I think mean is a hard one to crack. Oh, Katie liked it. All right, cool. So thanks everyone for joining our Xero app speed dating. So a quick run through, we're going to latch onto the concept of efficiencies and quickly have a deep dive into Projectworks, Employment Hero, and Weel. So thank you very much. And we're very thrilled to have Mina Berry from Xero helping us kick off the session. So thanks everyone for joining us. I hope you get a lot out of this and a very juicy half an hour of software learnings. So as I mentioned, Xero, Mina Berry from Xero, Kim from Employment Hero, Jessie from Weel, and Lauren from Projectworks. So thank you very much. Quickly, and we also have Ashley there, so if there are any extra juicy questions from Employment Hero, chuck them in there. She is your girl. Very knowledgeable. Housekeeping, it'll be about 30 minutes, so enjoy. We will be recording and sharing it with you, and I really encourage you to ask any questions that you want. Put us all on the spot. We'll do our best to answer you, and enjoy. Exhibitors, daters, you're each going to have 5 minutes. It's a very strict 5 minutes. I have my timer ready. And when you're at 4 minutes, I'll give you a little ding, and then 5 minutes, if you're mid-sentence, you're out of there. So do your best. I'm going to quickly hand over to Mina to just give a quick run through of the Xero app ecosystem. Then you'll be hearing from Kim, then Jessie, then Lauren.
Thank you so much, Adriana. Really appreciate being part of this amazing speed dating session. It's actually one of my first speed dating sessions in a while, so I'm really excited to have all these good-looking exhibitors with me on the session. Just to give you a little bit of background, some of you in the advisor community may know of me through the years. I've been at Xero now since back in 2010 when I started as employee number 8. And I worked with hundreds of accountants and bookkeepers in my time, but now I'm actually focusing on the ecosystem, which takes us to the next slide. What is this app ecosystem marketplace? So basically, Xero is an open API platform, and that means that we connect with thousands of apps, literally thousands. We also have 300 banks and financial services as well that we connect with. And it's basically bringing more power to small businesses and their advisors to work more efficiently, more productively, and profitably as well. And so when I started back in 2010, we had only about 25 apps that were integrated. Today, fast forward, we've got over 1,000, which is absolutely huge. The importance of today is extremely relevant, is because we've got that many apps now at scale that having these sort of, sessions where we can unpack quick thinking and answers for these burning questions that you may have where you're just trialing out or you're not sure is obviously a great way to get to know the apps. So the 3 sort of things that I just wanted to quickly touch on is this insightful platform. if we go to the next slide, please, we'll just move forward. Is really, I just wanted to focus around the productivity, and for advisors in particular, when it comes to the ecosystem and small businesses, we may think that we don't have a lot of influence directly on helping clients, you know, make more money or get more clients to increase the revenue side of their business. But definitely when it comes to apps, managing compliance, managing cash flow, managing operational workflows and functionality, there's so much choice out there with the apps that we've seen. Businesses that connect up to 5 or more apps are actually outperforming businesses that don't use digital technology that proficiently. And app users reported annual sale uplifts of up to 8.7% and an increase of job growth of up to 4.5% when compared to non-users. So we've tested the data, and we know that having apps connected to Xero does actually enhance productivity and profitability. So whether or not you're helping on generating more revenue as advisors, I definitely think there's a lot more that can be done to streamline operational workflows. And some of the apps that we've got here today absolutely nail that place. The other thing that I just wanted to highlight about Xero's ecosystem is that we don't claim to be all-inclusive, you know, experts at absolutely everything. We're best of breed. So we may, for example, do payroll really well, but when it comes to, say, HR and the nitty-gritty compliance of managing award interpretations, we would have that, you know, partners in that space like Employment Hero that handle that side of things as well. In the same vein, when it comes to, say, resource utilization and getting really into the nitty-gritty of tracking projects and expenses in detail, you know, partners like Projectworks show up in that space. And of course, Weel for deeper, you know, simplification of expense management. So we're really fortunate to have this amazing ecosystem. It brings tons of innovation at the hands of small business and advisors. And yeah, that's all I can pretty much say, that we're absolutely thrilled to be connected to these wonderful apps. And over to you, Weel.
Awesome. Thank you so much. So kicking us off today is going to be Kim from Employment Hero. Now, other daters, not to distract from Kim's charm, we're going to turn off our cameras, make sure we're all on mute. And remember, my timer is going in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Great. Thanks for the introduction, Mina and Adriana. Everyone, my name's Kim, and I've got Ashley also on the chat. So if you want to ask any questions, you can just ask her in the chat, but we'll leave a minute at the end for questions as well. For those that don't know what Employment Hero is, we're an all-in-one HR and payroll platform that integrates with Xero. I just say HR and payroll, but really I could just stop. You got recruitment, HR, onboarding, benefits, rostering, time and attendance, and then payroll, and with award interpretation, as Mina mentioned, that then flows on to Xero. Let's have a look at a couple of screens. So this is Employment Hero. I'm logged in as an administrator. Your clients or you guys will easily be able to see all your pay slips. You'll be able to see your company feed. And one of the big pains we solve is helping HR and payroll be on the same page, right? So often it's difficult to know where someone is in the onboarding process or in the recruitment process. We make it simple. At a glance, you can see Jessica's doing a tax deck, Ben's signing his contract, John's doing his employee details, all electronically and digitally with e-signatures. We really start at the point of recruitment. So Employment Hero integrates with all the major job boards in the country. Candidates will apply through there, and all those applications will come into the system. And then from there, you'll be able to onboard any employee, right? Just by clicking on onboard here. The moment you click that, it'll send the employee a link with their contract to sign off, and also collect their bank, tax, super, anything that's related, payroll related information. As part of the platform and what keeps employees engaged with the system, we've got a number of benefits, and we're constantly building these out. As you can see, a number of deals with Australian retailers and more cashback deals coming into the platform as well. So what's the experience like when an employee is onboarded? they'll get an email welcoming them to the company. And the moment they click on that, they'll have the opportunity to view their contract and e-signature that, right? And the moment they've signed that off, although it's all mobile friendly, so, just finger on smartphone, they'll complete all their payroll details. Because we're an HR and payroll platform and integrate with Xero, we never miss any important payroll information. So I know that's a big gripe. HR collects stuff, the stuff missing in payroll, and payroll has to go back and forth getting that info. That doesn't happen here. We've got an integration with the ATO for TFN lodgement, integration with Vivo for workers' rights check. We've got every superannuation fund in here for employees to put in their fund details. We collect any compliance related information that they need for the job before onboarding them into the platform. Once they're onboarded, depending on the kind of organization it is, if you need rostering, rostering can be done from here within the platform. And you can see the award interpretation doing its thing, so you can forecast wages, right? So if Charlie here works 4.5 hours, let's say he's on the hospitality award, we can see the award interpreter calculating exactly how much he should get paid based on if he works those hours. We've got real-time clock in and clock out. That'll collect those actual hours and calculate those actual times. And then we'll flow that into payroll for processing and then send that over to Xero as a journal file. And that's me. Any questions? How did I get the time, Adriana?
That was perfect. You were actually at 3 minutes 50. So I can see that Ashley's been answering questions in there. But a question from Jane, I don't know how to pronounce this. Can it handle SCHADS awards without any workarounds?
Yes, SHADS is one of our biggest client bases. SHADS customers.
Great. Right. Well, we're going to run the poll whilst everyone is putting more questions in there, which is excellent. But you did so well. So thank you so much for that. Hopefully, Kim, you're going to be busy for the next few weeks with lots of dates. And, maybe just to put you on the spot, are there any special bonuses? Is anyone going to get any special end of year if they sign up before? I've really just thrown you under the bus.
Yeah. No, we've got a great deal at the moment. Actually, we've got 3 months free for all of our licensing. Depending on the customer size, our managed implementations, which is probably for a customer of north of 200, we've got 40% off, and then we've also got some discounts on our more DIY implementations for smaller sized businesses. Amazing.
All right, Kim, you are out of here. And I'm going to get Jessie up to the hot seat. So thank you so much, guys. Feel free to keep putting your questions in there. Ashley's ready there to answer anything more.
Sounds good. Adriana, thanks for the opportunity, and thanks everyone for joining this session.
You've been delightful. All righty. Backstage, guys. I think the Employment Hero poll is done. Kim, take your video there. Take your video off. There you go. Get out of there. All right, Jessie, your time starts now.
All righty. Picture this: effortless expense tracking, invoice management, and live financial insights at your fingertips. How do we do this? Well, Weel automates the grunt work. So we're just ensuring you're not barely getting past the finish line at month end, but we allow you to focus on moving the business forward. So what's speed dating without knowing a bit about us? We're an Aussie startup. We service tens of thousands of businesses in Australia, ranging from sole traders to some of the largest project and service delivery companies nationwide. How do we do that? We can instantly issue virtual cards with limits. We have invoice extraction and payments, reimbursement collection and payments. They're all powered by our in-house approvals, all able to be lodged through a mobile app. So really, in 5 words, it's an all-in-one financial stack. So let's get into the meat and potatoes of whether it might be a good fit for a second date. The way I think about it is smart business decisions are based on accurate, timely financial data. Often businesses struggle to get accurate data because they might have a lack of accountability. Staff might share cards that don't have visibility or accountability of staff at that staff member level. Now, what happens if we don't know who to follow up with to finalize our compliance requirements? We don't actually know if the spend's legitimate, and it can snowball into sunk productivity from, staff being pushed to, pushing out the month end or removing focus from any projects or tasks which should remain the priority. When we push out those close of month and we're eating into that time for projects or even using data in a meaningful way, so forecasting or management reporting, it can really ruin the efficiency of a team. It could be the lack of automation in a tech stack. So having a manual reimbursement claim means staff sink productivity into completing reports instead of their day-to-day remit. So that's if you're lucky. If you're unlucky, staff members are just going to store up all their claims. Potentially when they leave the business, you've got a headache now of organising approval, payment, but also depending on the extent, you could have a short-term cash flow issue. On top of this, we need to factor in staff retention. Since 2021, across the entire Australian workforce, industries have seen a turnover rate jump from 2%. Some industries they've doubled from 5 to 10% in the last 5 years. So, what happens when we don't retain staff? We lose the time, resources, and upskilling, but also specialized knowledge of the business. The real crux of it is the majority of businesses these days, they struggle to enforce financial controls and manage risk because the legacy systems that we use were the best available to us at the time. So it's time to revise our tech stack and centralize it in one place. What does life look like on Weel? Accountability. The customer I was thinking about that came to mind about accountability was Windaring. So implementing Weel cards, what happened is they had visibility over purchases at that staff level, and they saved roughly about $200,000 a year in questionable spend and overhead sunk costs. All the miscellaneous spend with no receipts was cut out pretty much overnight. So how did Weel do this? We got 2 key outcomes. Through being able to see who made purchases, there was accountability on missing tax invoices. We made it easy for staff to provide these documents, so we captured at a higher rate too. So Weel lets you block and re-enable cards based off who's completed their expense reports. Missing tax invoices no longer an accepted practice, both culturally and enforced by Weel. So knowing the spend was attributed to them, there was no excuse to not provide documentation. Staff were really held accountable for purchases made in their name. So this meant, all those once-off drive-through purchases at KFC for $30 that were missing receipts cut out pretty much overnight. Also, the time that was spent trying to get these documents cut out entirely, which meant that they didn't have that sunk overhead costs. Another customer I worked with was Westbourne Construction. So they implemented Weel cards and reimbursements. They saved roughly a week per month in admin time. Staff previously had to do manual requests. Now they could do it in real time. Real-time requests, automated payouts. It just meant there was no lost productivity from either project teams or the finance team. And Robin let us know that not only for end users that were submitting claims, but even her junior staff members processing the requests had a big jump in staff satisfaction. So really thinking about it, an all-in-one stack, we can issue cards, control spend, we can process reimbursements and schedule payment in real time. The new exciting news is that we're going to be able to import bills from Xero and schedule for payment. You manage your approval processes to audit-proof the business, and you're just doing it, most importantly, under the same roof. So you can feel free to fact check me. We've got public case studies with both Windaring and Westbourne. But really, first date, trying to get a good word in. If you do want to learn more about us, if any of that resonated with you, we're going to be sending out a direct booking link for a product demo, because it will be very contextual about how we can talk about how Weel can help the business. But I also back the product so much that we're going to be, for everyone that attended, so if you're watching a recording, not for you, but anyone that attended is going to get a free coffee card, so you can see how easy it is and take the first step to enforcing spend policy and making smarter business decisions.
Ding, ding, ding. Jesse, you were wonderful. Thank you so much. Great questions in there, guys. I can see that you've had questions about pricing. Absolutely, we've got discounts. We've got promos. Just ask us. All right. Up next, we have Projectworks. Jesse, thank you so much. Lauren, I'm just resetting the clock, and the time has begun.
Lovely. Thanks, Adriana. I'm Lauren from Projectworks. Hello, everyone. Projectworks is a job management platform that sits kind of really well in the center of all the apps that we've just been chatting about. We have all the features that you'd expect from a job management platform like timesheets, invoicing, leave and expense management, reporting, but we really stand out with our fantastic resource management and revenue forecasting features that enable you to forecast numerous areas of your business like revenue, profitability, and utilization. Businesses that typically get the most out of Projectworks are from the professional services space. So engineers, architects, consultancies, and others that are listed in this slide. We don't have inventory management, so we're really only geared towards professional services who charge their time. If you're an accountant listening, we've got a partner program where you or your clients can receive incentives for signing up to Projectworks. So if you'd like to educate your practice on what we can offer, then go ahead and scan this QR code to get in touch directly with Angela, our global head of partnerships. And I'll pull this up at the end. Hopefully I'll have time to do that if you want to give that another scan. So I'll just get into the product real quick. And just to expand on what we offer, as I've just mentioned, we have timesheets, invoicing, leave and expense management, reporting, but what a lot of job management platforms don't have is capacity planning working in conjunction with revenue forecasting. Both of these features combined provide a forward-looking view. So our key differentiator is that we don't only report on the current position of projects and how things are tracking, but we also forecast out in terms of project burn, revenue, utilization, and profitability, all of which is really important for a business. So for all of you CFOs on the call, you'll be able to see with the click of a button when you're due to go over budget in the future, as well as how profitable your projects will be at the end. I'm going to show you some examples of a few key dashboards we have in Projectworks. All of them that I'm about to show you are real-time dashboards, so you don't have to go out of the system to look at information. So here we see a projected burn graph for a single project. We can see this dark gray line here is the worth of what's been worked in timesheets so far, and we can toggle on additional information as needed. So I can add in this projected effort. So that's the worth of what's been forecasted to work in resourcing. And I actually see here that we're due to go over budget in early December. So if this was my project, I could make some decisions to get it back on track and hopefully stay within budget. We're also able to layer on additional information like projected revenue and what I've already invoiced. So there's lots of information that you can gather just from this graph here. This is just a single project view, but we do have a more overall business view. So if we go to our projects by budget health report, we can see the burn progress of all the projects in our company. I can see these 3 projects here at the top have actually already gone over budget, and these few down here are due to go over budget soon. So we really want to keep a close eye on them and again, make some decisions to pull them back on track. I've added a few columns. So I have my burn progress, my current burn progress, and my current margin if I want to know what my profitability is like so far. And I've also added some other columns for my projected burn and also my projected margin. And what's really nice about these reports is that you can kind of chop and change them as you need. So any information that you might want to know is here, and you can toggle those columns on and off. And again, this is all real-time data. So that's a really good report to see kind of your overall projects and how they're tracking. But we also have projects by WIP, or work in progress. This is grouped by company. You can, again, slice and dice however you need to look at it. I have some aged WIP columns, and you can add columns again as needed. Lastly, we have our utilization report. So this is showing you a list of all of your staff and whether they've met their utilization target. The pie charts up at the top are a quick and easy way to see how your overall organization is tracking in terms of utilization and how they spend their time. Right now, I'm looking at this in a backwards view. I'm looking at how we've done in April, and that's taking into account actuals, what's been logged in timesheets. But I could also look at this in a forward-looking view, and that would take into account what's been resourced into the future. So that was a really, really quick speed date. But we'd love to speak with you further. We have tons more reporting features that we could share with you. We have a really deep integration with Xero, probably the deepest integration within the professional services space. And we also have many other app partners that we work closely with. So if you'd like a free 30-minute consultation, scan this QR code to book in a meeting with Angela, our global head of partnerships. She is sitting there waiting for someone to book a meeting with her. The first 10 people to book a meeting with her will get a $100 Prezi card. So go ahead and get booking. Thank you.
Also, Angela is lovely.
She
so
is.
Highly recommend having a chat with her. Amazing. Well, thank you, everyone. Feel free to put your cameras back on and give a wave. I can see that more questions are coming through, guys. So we'll do our best to answer all of them. Mina, there's a question there particularly for Xero as well. So there's a few in there. Guys, really appreciate everyone spending their half an hour with us. And as we always joke, you know how people are like, oh, you can have 4 minutes back, but we did end on time. So, you know, go get a glass of water, I don't know, reset for your 2:30. We really hope this was valuable. If there's more apps that you guys are dying to hear from, but you don't really want to get sucked into the demo vortex, let us know and we can arrange some more of these speed dating. So daters, thank you very much. Have a great day and hopefully speak to you all soon. Cheers.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.